as we are on the air tonight, and we want to tell you about what is going on. One breaking news event in Jacksonville right now. For the second time this week, a member of the sheriff's office is facing charges. Kaylee Tracy is live on your side tonight.
Yeah, Jeannie and Anthony, 5-year veteran Jatoia Howard's charges come after an off-duty crash that we're told happened in mid-August, and the undersheriff says that she left the scene and then conspired with a family member about lying and about who was driving that car that day. She's charged with official misconduct, leaving the scene of an accident involved attending property, and conspiracy to commit a false insurance claim. Now, Ivy, that's the undersheriff Pat Ivy, did not have any information if anyone was hurt in that crash. And as mentioned, this is the third JSO employee arrested since last week. It's the 8th in 2020, just this year. When I asked the undersheriff about that, he said he's not proud of the number. He wishes it was 0, but he says he feels like this shows transparency, that they do hold press conferences when each member of JSO is arrested. We'll have more coming up at 6, but for now, reporting live, Kaylee Tracy, First Coast News, on your side.